Hey, I almost completely forgot about this today. Welcome to day 9, and the eagle-eyed among you may be wondering, wait, you've been wearing that for the past few days. It's a hoodie. I'm changing what I'm wearing underneath. Don't worry. It's all good. Although I think I've worn this long enough at this point. Right, I love how my fucking island is just bikes. Outdoors bikes. Okay, then, we've got 5 issues today. Goddamn. We've got suspension of the disbelieved, not on the run, who's in your wallet, the long walk, and fair to say. Let's start off with none on the run. Alright, then. 2 Sisters of Saint Catherine's Mercies, a religious order known for their charitable works and advocacy for the poor. Okay, actually known for that. Good shit. Although their philanthropy often relies on unorthodox fundraising methods, it was still surprising when Sister Dolores Caithbear recently announced her intention to run for a vacant parliament seat. Religious people in office. Okay. There must be a separation of church and state, declares your military. There's the Java update thing again every single fucking day. No, fuck off, I'm not playing Minecraft right now. In fact, I don't even think I need that anymore for Minecraft. I've not played Minecraft properly for fucking years. Last time I played Minecraft, they had just added horses. I did play it once for about half an hour. It is a completely different game at this point. I had no idea what the fuck I'm doing with it. Whatever. She's running on as an independent. Okay. She will obviously use her religious position to gain votes in an attempt to interfere with our government. Even worse, she's running as an independent candidate in one of the most vulnerable districts for our party. If you wish to maintain credibility within the halls of Parliament, you cannot allow anyone in a position like this to gain office. See, this is a difficult one, because if this order is legitimately known for charitable works for the poor, then okay. But if this is just a cover for their religious bullshit and their hatred of certain groups like gay people and so on and so forth, then you know what I mean? That being said, we can't deny a seat in power just because somebody is openly religious. That's retarded. That's ridiculous. Religious people can be reasonable. You know? I vastly disagree with their belief systems, typically speaking, but they're not inherent idiots or monsters. It's just common that they are. Atheists tend to be up their own asses as well, so... Citizens should be able to serve both our nation and our creator, assists Sister Dolores, wearing a pin that reads, "Greed is a sin." And the best way to serve the neediest people in our nation is to be in the same room as all our tax funds are distributed, advocating on behalf of the people who don't currently have a voice in these decisions. That sounds reasonable. All I want to do is make Howlite Isle a better place. If you claim to be democratic, my religious beliefs shouldn't prevent me from running. That sounds reasonable. I don't see why any job should be allowed to discriminate based on religious affiliation, argues Sister Agnia, Knight of the Order of Divine Retribution. That doesn't sound too good. Brandishing a loop of prayer beads with metal spikes. Actually, for example, I applied to join the police, but they said that my religious background wasn't suitable for police work. If anything, I think it makes me more motivated to deliver a righteous beatdown on the law. No, we're not America. Our police service doesn't operate like that. And there's sinners that still walk around the streets with impunity. It's not a job for me. It's a daily vocation. Ugh. Perhaps we need to get our nation back on the right track by mandating that all our elected leaders are believers. Right, well, no, we're not doing that. Sacramental supremacy. Yeah, we're going with this. Citizens should not be... yeah, we're going with this. This sounds like the most reasonable. Yeah. Weekly religious services often resemble campaign rallies. Religiousness is shot up. Food quality is shot up. Ideological radicality is shot up. Why, I don't know, because she seemed pretty fucking normal to me. It should have shot up choosing the other one. Political freedom has shot up. Taxation has shot up. Oh, because we're putting more money to the poor. That's fine. Pacifism shot up. Safety, tourism, intelligence, inclusiveness. All of this seems good. Authoritarian is down. Crime is down. Corruption is down. Secularism, or however you pronounce that, is down. I know secular, but I don't know the multiple of it or whatever that would be. So that's a shame. Disposable income is down, but that goes par and par with tax. So that's a pretty favourable result, all things considered. All right, moving on. Suspension of the disbelieved. A patient accused Wardner's Vigil Domitrov of an improportionately intimate physical examination. Oh, I've had that once. Yeah. When I was just starting to be, when I was a young teen, a doctor was giving me an examination and he got a little bit personal down around my bollocks region. And to this day, I'm not sure whether that was appropriate or not. Maybe? I don't know. I know I felt uncomfortable. But, yeah. Whatever. Let's see. Which resulted in the suspension from duty from Howlite Isle's City Central Hospital. A series of investigations and legal meetings followed, involving hospital management, the patient ombudsman, the Complaints Review Board, and eventually the Magistrate Court of Appeal. All in all, the nurse was suspended for a total of 9 months before the complainant was dismissed and he was fully, whatever the fuck that word, exonerated? Exonerated. There is no protection for the reputation of professionals anymore, Rance accused nurse, waving a loaded syringe around as he speaks. Spraying an unknown sticky white fluid in your face. Not very subtle. My name was in the local paper. The girl I was dating dumped me. Look, of course we must allow complaints. However, once a complaint is being dismissed, we should be able to take false accusers to court and hold them to account. I want compensation for my losses, one way or another. To be fair, this is true. We get false claims all the fucking time. The issue with them is if... I'll give you a great example. Johnny Depp, right? When Johnny Depp was in court in England, he lost that trial. When he went again to court in America, the whole thing was a farce. I'm pretty sure that it would have been a farce in my country as well. Surely, then, after the court ended, they could have counterclaimed, you know what I mean? So, it's anything like this is difficult, because unless you were there, you can't really say, you know what I mean? And claims of this nature should be taken seriously, but at the same time, we can't completely end somebody's life on an accusation alone, which, quite frankly, we do on a regular basis, especially if they're men and the accuser is a woman. It happens fucking constantly. So, yeah. We don't really want to punish people who make claims just in case we get it wrong. Imagine being assaulted, then the claim doesn't go through, and then you're punished for making that claim. It puts people off from coming forward when, statistically speaking, they don't come forward anyway. But at the same time, if we don't put some kind of deterrent in place for false accusations, all it does is, like, throw open the fucking gates for anyone to make any kind of accusation whenever the fuck they want. And nothing will... They either win or nothing happens. So, why doesn't anyone believe me, sobs Lena Lansley, the complainant who leveled the allegations, as she superstitiously peels an onion under the table. For the sake of victims everywhere, you have to weigh in to protect people like me. Do you know how scary it was me to come forward with this? You owe it to patient safety to trust the word of victims. Believe all women, even when they constantly lie about shit like this. And look, I know people personally in my own life who have been through this kind of thing. Alright? And that makes people who fucking lie about it even worse, because they shit on the people who have actually been through that fucking harrowing experience. As far as I can see, the whole problem has happened because it's one person's word against another. Observe your minister, watching watchman. Well, no shit, duh. We ought to enforce some temporary medical procedures with every professional accompanied by a trained observer for all interactions. And each patient also encouraged to bring their own... oh, that's fucking ridiculous. No, we're going for this one. I'm sorry. But in the modern age, there's so many fucking false claims. And especially with the job he has, he's probably earning a decent amount. Although he is a nurse, so maybe not. Anything is permissible when wearing latex gloves. Corruption has gone up. Childlessness has gone up. Patriots, safety, nudity. Ideological radicality has gone down, though, for some reason. Yeah, like feminism. Yay. Civil rights has gone down. Fuck you. Intelligence and lifespan has gone... oh. Niceness has gone up, though. Yeah, whatever. The modern day has very much affected my choice for that one. Just because there's been so many false allegations in recent years. Who's in your wallet? After some years in circulation, it's time for a new set of banknotes to be issued in Howlite Isle. With a growing number of dissatisfaction among segments of society who are unhappy with the lack of diversity of those depicted on the current notes. You are in our country. The people on the notes are going to be important Howlite Isle figures. Right? That's who they're going to be. No other country in the world, I'm projecting here, no other country in the world does this. It's only certain, mostly white Western countries who are expected to do this. Fuck off. Unless you make a giant fucking name for yourself despite basically being a foreigner, no. It's like, you know, Gandhi being on the fucking notes would be fucking amazing. But again, isn't he already on the notes in like India or something like that? You know, if you're a fucking massive fucking person, but then yeah, whatever. Every time I open my wallet, I see the same old dead thought staring back at me. Okay. By Violet Ponytail is nothing sacred, decline, staunch conservative, Imer de Lavroun. Frantically waving a small Howlite Isle pennant. First they come for our national anthem, then our holidays, and now even our cash has to be changed to coddle the feelings of these crooks. Well, no more, I say. The book stops here. It should be a crime even calling... I wouldn't go that far. It's time to use the change in our notes to as a great chance to increase the population's affection towards you, your excellency, says Fiddle Twinkling today, Adric. If anyone should grace our nations currently... So basically, I should put my own face on the notes. I'm alright with that. Okay, you can change the people, but you need to like celebs and who's tube on them. Oh, fuck off. Finally, your mother chimes in with more infamous, unsolicited advice. Now, dear. If I've just butchered this entire thing because I've already decided what I'm going with, and I'm trying to find which one of these is right. Your niece wants some famous Nickelodeon person on the bills, and some other chaps want alchemists and so on. But why not just you please everyone and have nobody shown on the notes? Avoid controversy this way. Just put happy little trees or a magpie. That I really like. Happy little trees or a magpie celebrating the nature of our beautiful country. Wouldn't that be lovely to have cute little magpies smiling back at you every time you pay for your morning tea and porridge? Do you know what, Mother? I completely agree. That's what we're going with. It happens to... Australia does this. Australia have like kangaroos on their notes and shit. And it's really cool. Yeah, we're doing that. That's awesome. Angry citizens complain that there isn't enough geographical diversity on the new banknotes. Fuck off. That's so true, though, isn't it? That's so fucking true. They're complaining that there's not enough platypus or fucking elephants on the... Oh, shit. On the banknotes. I like that, though. That's awesome. Yeah, I like how doing this has increased the weather. It's like nature knows that we're on its side. I like that one. The long walk. Though Judy Black was subsequently exonerated for the many crimes that she was accused of, videos of the perp walk she made between police station and the court are continuing to service online and in Howlite Isle media. Pardon me. Perp walks are barbaric and needlessly cruel, states criminal justice reform and privacy advocate Noah Haggard while covering his face with a paper bag. Not to mention the total violation of privacy. Why should people endure the humiliation of that long walk with cameras flashing in their face? To be fair, I kind of agree. I don't care what you've done. The idea that we make it normal to have a person just walk down a long aisle with crowds of people screaming at them and taking pictures of them. Though, maybe they do that to disorient them so they're easily talked to and get to do what they want. So there might be a point behind it. I don't know, but I've never liked it myself. Not to mention the total. I mean, what do people gain out of it, really? What do people gain out of that? They gain an ability to just shout at people and take pictures of them. Like, they're not really punished for what they've done. Nobody really gets what they need to get. It's just, the whole thing's just media bullshit. Not to mention the total violation of privacy. Why should people endure the humiliation of the long walk with cameras flashing in their faces? What if the person is innocent? At least let them have their dignity before you lock them up in cold metal. I actually completely agree. On the contrary, privacy is less important than transparency of procedure, replies tough on crime police officer who would rather not be named. That's funny. Transparency would rather not be named. The people and their free press have a right to know the creeps who are committing crimes in our great country. In fact, we ought to make perp walks more harrowing, have the criminals walk a whole mile before they're escorted away, and not let onlookers jeer and throw rotten fruit at them. That'll surely teach the people the crime doesn't pay, unless they're fucking innocent and we got the wrong person, which happens. Obviously, we need to strike a balance between the two extremes, suggests armchair legal expert Atama Nixon. Why not limit prep walks to only the most heinous crimes and wait until they are after they're convicted? That way, the media gets to have its circus, but only when we say they can. I actually like that. Yeah, save it for like the mass rapists and animal abusers and child abusers and, you know, murderers and all that kind of thing. Save it for that, and only when we know at the most extent of the law, even though we could still get it wrong. At least save it for that. Are we forgetting that an innocent person was humiliated? Remains Black's lawyer. My client's life was destroyed by police incompetence and cruelty. The government must compensate all falsely accused people for its time spent incarcerated in police cells and force disciplinary procedures on the police officers who allowed discharge to take place. Maybe, I mean, people get shit wrong from time to time. Like, sometimes it's corruption, but sometimes people just get shit wrong. You know what I mean? And this will just make people less likely to incarcerate people. We're going to go with that. Might be a little bit authoritarian, but we're going with that. Some people will do literally anything to be in the spotlight. Ideological radicality, intelligence has gone up, civil rights have gone up, weaponization has gone up, corruption has gone up. Lifespan, most of that's fine, except the lowering tourism. Less people coming in to see the criminals. Alright, last one, fair to say. At last year's World Fair, many said that Howlite Isle's expedition Pavilion was okay considering and not bad for the nation's tight budget. This year, national organisers want to make your expo presence bigger, better and more impressive than ever before. We need some more shiny stuff. We need lasers and a 20-foot tall robot, speaks General Molly Honda, hoverboarding excitedly around you in a wide circle. Let's show off our tech to the rest of the world. We need flying cars and maybe cyber magpies. Birds. That's an old-ass conspiracy. If you know what that means, nice. Fear the birds. I know what birds actually mean. Do you? Hey, how gauche. How gauche sneers Mothna Amos, an esteemed novelist. Culture is the lifeblood of Howlite Isle. We should create a gallery/library to celebrate Howlite Isle's artists and literature abroad. Nothing less could represent our brilliance. I actually like that idea. Give the Fergoers what they want. Food! Yells Adam Richbloke, a generously proportioned foodie, holding a generous portion of battered chicken chunks. Visitors to the fair, I'm going to get a visit every tent. You know how many nations of the world there are now? But everyone has got to eat. Chocolate, donut, lasagna. Oh god, that sounds horrible. Deep fried pancake soups, that also sounds horrible. And orange truffle crab cakes with butter. That all of this sounds fucking disgusting. Pork loads and sweet custard. Yeah, fuck off. I smell economic opportunity, says your Commons Minister Tarjan Hanfield. We should showcase what a great place for investors we are. Sorry about that. Phone. We're going with this one. We're going with the art, definitely. Yeah, cool. Intellectual snobbery has the constituency sneering at anyone who doesn't have the opinion on the seismological draft of Umberto's eco-works. Be cultured. Damn straight we're cultured. Book publishing, food quality. See, we still got that. And a hell of a lot better than the quality of food that guy was pushing. Jesus. Tourism is shot up. Scientific amount. Everything about this is great. Drug use has gone down. Crime has gone down. The weather's gone down for some reason. I guess it's because we're cutting trees down for books. Obesity has gone down. Yeah, because we're not eating that guy's fucking food. Oh, that's pretty good. What we're not going to do today, though, is read the Howlite Isle thing. What we're going to do is we're going to do this at the end of every video. So this would be the start of the third video right now. So we're going to start reading it after we've done a few of them, I think, this time around, instead of after every session. We're still the top 10% in primitive and rebellious youth, though, for some reason. Welcome back to Howlite Isle. It is day 10. I've got a little bit of a mustache hair sticking up right here, and it's annoying the crap out of me. Right, issues. We've only got 3 of them today. Outdated tax code crushing Howlite Isle. Circus clowns cause chaos. Dude, where's my elected representative? Right, let's do this one, because this one sounds funny. Rather than finding them funny, a recent survey shows that most children are actually afraid of clowns. I personally don't find them scary or funny. I just think they're weird. The public is demanding that you do something to stop these terrifying menaces. Kill them all! Or, you know, just ban them. Opines noted sociologist Cyrus Rubio. Better yet, why not just ban all circuses from Howlite Isle? Think about it. They're distracting children from what's important in life, namely doing well in school, getting a job and contributing to the economy. That's what's important here. Banning clowns is a little extreme, if you ask me, imports your Minister for Culture, Avanka al-Assad. I think what we need to do is educate children about what clowns actually do. Tell them that they aren't scary and what they do is actually beneficial. After all, happy kids are less likely to go down the path of crime, which means less spending goes on the police and more funds can be devoted to somewhere important, like my department. It's not always about kids, mumbles red-nosed man in the corner. Think about us clowns. We have to put up with the kids screaming and shouting and I'm on your side already, sir, and hurling things at us. How would you feel if you were dressed up like a fool and paraded about in front of 8-year-olds? Just being around 8-year-olds is already hell to me, never mind dressed up like a fool and paraded around them. The government needs to create a program that to treat us clowns for depression. So, you know, you know what it's like, man. You weren't there. You don't know what it's like when I went there. I'm going with this one. Yeah. Students are wary of colourfully dressed new teachers with names Professor Pipsqueak. Develop quality libraries. Look at that. Ooh. Food quality has gone up for some reason. I guess because we have more libraries so people can read about cookery more. Culture has gone up. Good, good, good. Public education has gone up. Scientific advancement. Tourism. Yes, yes, yes. Intelligence. Recreational drug use for some reason. Although if your teacher looks... I mean, to be fair, in the modern age, colourfully dressed teachers dressed like clowns is kind of the norm. At least according to TikTok. So that... pretty good. Law enforcement's gone down a little bit. Safety and weather for some reason. Whatever. But youth rebelliousness has gone down. Look at that. That's gone down. We've gone down to 0. So apparently this is a very, very uncommon index because we only had 1 point in it. And we were the top 10 in the area, which is really weird. Does that mean that we don't have that anymore? No, we still apparently have it. Okay, that's weird, but there we go. Outdated tax crushing Howlite Isle. Over the years, the government tax code has become a headache, including a headache-inducing tangle. Recently, a prominent tax official was crushed to death under the weight of a complete copy of the tax code falling on his head, which takes more complex, which taxes more complex than ever, and unlikely alliance of taxpayers, businesses, and government officials are demanding something be done to fix the situation. Okay, we've got to put a stop to this before more lives are lost, like mine, says Diego Cockburn. You might be able to get a cream for that, dude. What an unfortunate name. Diego fucking Cockburn. I'm sorry to any Cockburn watching this. I'd like to imagine he's saying this to me and I'm just sat there just laughing as soon as his name is said. He's like, yeah, okay, get it all out. The Cockburn, the new head of Howlite Isle Alien Reserve Agency, indicts the search of a rescue crew armed with paper shredders. We need them to abandon the current tax code and start anew. It's drastic, I know, and will mean chaos is in the bureaucracy. While spending may briefly need to be circulated as revenue drips, there's no ways of fixing this shambles. So wait, what? Abandon the current... Oh, so basically, like, scorch earth, start again. Okay. It's true that something has got to be done about the tax code, but it doesn't need to be anything so drastic, proclaims Jill Cummin, spokesperson of the Alliance of Howlite Isle Businesses and Industry. The real problem lies with the tangled mess that is corporate tax regime. Allow us to write a competitive tax system for Howlite Isle industry, and you'll stem the job losses from businesses flocking ashore to keep this bureaucratic nightmare. Escape this bureaucratic nightmare. Okay. Give creating the tax to businesses. That seems like a fucking colossal mistake to make. Goddamn. If anything is bloated about the tax, it's the corporate welfare, rages Nikiatas Reagan, a concerned and rather irate citizen. If you ask me, the government needs to eliminate all of these generous tax breaks for businesses. Then we can get a cut to some. We can cut some of those ridiculous taxes that hit the average guy. For once, benefiting the people, not the industry bigwigs. Our tax code is complicated, queries your personal tax accountant, Jessica Wu, popping in her office just next door. If you're struggling to fill in your FX505S and can't tell your I'm not even reading that from your I'm not even reading that, then that's what we're here for. In fact, if your government could give us a generous tax break to those of my profession, that made it that cumulative with our of course, then we'll be able to offer services to even more people. Okay. Hi there, sir, pipes up Brigitte Einstein. That's an unfortunate name. Clad in high-vis jacket and clutching a clipboard. None of these fine people have got to the root of your problem. If civil servants were just to wear hard hats while working, then falling paperwork wouldn't be an issue, and perhaps a course of minimal handling wouldn't go amiss too. My own take sides with this one, but I'm running a country here, and that's not very smart. I'm tempted to give it to the businesses because we could get more money flowing around here, but I also don't like the sound of it either. See, the problem is we're agreeing to them doing it, and we're just going to go with the fucking outcome, which is going to be fucking a business haven where the people get fucked over on a regular basis. Like, by giving it them, we will be creating this situation here. Spending may briefly need to be curtailed as revenues dip. No, we can't do that either. I don't really like any of these. I mean, this is the daft option. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with it. Our economy needs a bit of a boost anyway. Let's go. Corporate executives to continue and enjoy the generous tax benefits while the public is taxed to the hilt. Yeah, we knew that's what was going to happen. The Howlite Island economy rose from reasonable to good. Give tourism a state-funded helping hand to propose an excellent environment. God damn! So what went down? Tourism went down a little bit. Okay. Taxation, authoritarianism, safety, economic crime, economic freedom, intelligence, employment, obesity rose for some reason. Lifespan rose at the same time as that, and the Human Development Index, what? Corruption went up by actually a considerable margin. God damn. I'm not quite sure about that one. We are going to be activating some of these banners, though. I like that one. Alright, dude, where's my elected representative? A recent survey of MPs in Howlite Isle revealed that only 50% of them actually live in the ridings that they represent. What? Oh. So they don't actually live in the areas in which they actually represent, which is a problem because they're probably all in the London equivalent and they're dictating how the rest of the fucking world is, or the rest of the fucking country is supposed to be when they don't even live there to face the repercussions of it. That makes sense. This is a disgrace, shouts street protester and irate bird farmer Shijoke back. While launching some sort of squishy projectile at your front door with a handheld catapult. How is someone who lives in Northern Howlite Isle supposed to have any understanding of how people in Southern Howlite Isle live? My MPs live hundreds of miles away from the good honest folk he's claiming to represent. Frankly, it's an insult to this electorate. The government must force elected representatives to live in areas that they support or supposed to represent, or kick them out of the office. I actually agree with that. To actually give a shit about your area, you need to fucking... the area you represent, you should be fucking living there. This is a democracy, remember? Argues Paul Nutter, yeah, who was elected to represent the rural fishing folk of Magpie by the Sea, despite living in Howlite Isle City. That is exactly what I'm saying. I may not live in the rural wilderness right now, though I'll probably live there one day. Yeah, doesn't that speak volumes? But that doesn't mean that I don't know anything about the places. I mean, I do have access to Wikipedia, after all. Forcing me to resign is a slap in the face of the good people of Magpie by the Sea and an insult to democracy itself. No, fuck you. There is always room for compromise, suggests noted centrist politician Hilary Gilligan, who is known for attending as many government meetings as possible. Obviously, we need to have our politicians be as knowledgeable about the areas that they're representing, but we also can't deny them the right to choose their own place of residence. How about we instead compel all politicians to educate themselves about the chosen ridings, force them to study the area's history, culture, languages, and actually spend some time there, then test them, give them an examination to prove that they know their stuff. If they fail, then they can't run in that riding. After all, a little bit of knowledge when did a little bit of knowledge did anyone any harm? That is actually a really good point. That is... But at the same time, it also means that people in that position also know how to manipulate the people. Tax will go up as well, because we'll need to fund that. No. But it also means that if we choose this, that it means that certain types of people are going to represent certain types of areas, and we could end up having like corrupt crime bosses going on. We're going with this, the centrist opinion. We're going to go with it. Politicians are often seen attending regional history classes in primary schools with their constituencies. Food quality went up, authoritarianism went up, culture went up, primitiveness went up. That's why. Taxation, average income, weather went down for some bizarre reason. Political freedom went down. Disposable homelessness. Yeah, taxation went up. I knew that would happen. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. The ones today, but there we go. Let's choose the banners for today. We'll have the cavern on, and we'll have the library on. Become influential in a region. Ooh, didn't know we had that one either. I'll have that. Nice. I didn't realise that was a primary as well. We've got rid of our old primary. That's our old primary. There we go. Save changes. There we go. Howlite Isle. Good sheet. Good sheet. Influence newcomer. We got 80 million people now. Nice. Welcome back to Howlite Isle. It is day 11. We have 4 issues today. Let's check them out. Controversial coup causes commotion. Voting for more money. The Great Wall of Howlite Isle. Let us make Howlite Isle great again. Radio rebels ruffle government. I've got to click on the wall one. Due to the ongoing wars in neighbouring countries, a recent rash of illegal immigrants have been caught at the borders of Howlite Isle, prompting many citizens to call for tighter immigration laws. Alfred Morricone of the Howlite Isle National Purity League says, "These illegal aliens are just an eyesore with their strange customs and funny languages. Uneducated troublemakers like these only worsen crime and steal valuable jobs. I say we should boot all immigrants out on their ears and put a big fence around the country." Alina Tafts of the Howlite Isle Civil Liberties Union says, "We must welcome these refugees from any nation into our open arms. They are fleeing one oppressive dictatorial regime." To be fair, there are a lot of like psychotic dictatorships in this game. In the only way they know. We must not let them think they're jumping from the frying pan into the fire. "Hold on there, hold on people," says Joe Cartman of Howlite Isle's broadcasting company. "We don't have to take either extreme. All we have to do is make a TV show out of it. We put deadly obstacles on the border and monitor it with television cameras. Those that make it across win freedom and citizenship. And those who don't, well, let's just say they are buzzards. Our buzzards won't starve. What will we call it? Who wants to be an immigrant?" Yeah. All right, look, my actual opinion on this. People make every single person that comes across the border out to be a refugee. The word immigrant doesn't exist anymore. Every immigrant is actually a refugee fleeing, because the Western world is the only good countries in the world, despite the fact that the same people will argue that the West is full of evil white men that wants to oppress the entire fucking world and some of the most evil anti-humanitarian people in the world. For some reason, despite being the bastion of evil, the rest of the world constantly flees towards the West. In fact, they will target specific countries whilst avoiding other ones because they have lesser human rights. It's funny how it works. It's almost as if the country I reside in, Great Britain, is a bit of a fucking soft touch and well known for being so. So I am perfectly in favour of immigration, because quite frankly, if people from different cultures with different skill sets don't immigrate to different countries, the country falters, because we end up like just producing the same kind of skill set and the same kind of people over and over and over again. We need that kind of flavor to stir the pot a little bit and create better things and new dishes. The whole diversity being a strength thing is, diversity to a point is good. Diversity of thought, diversity of skill set. These things are good. Diversity of ethical values can be a bit, like a lot of countries out there believe that homosexuality should be a crime. And that a woman's place is to be a caregiver and a servant and nothing more. Or that a man should go and fucking kill someone or blow himself up because they don't believe the same way someone else does. And I don't personally believe that values like these should be welcome into our country just because they come from a skin color or an ethnicity that isn't white or Western. But for some reason, the same people who scream homophobia and transphobia and misogyny are the same people who would defend the very cultures that push this idea coming into our culture. Which is weird to me, but yeah. Now again, actual immigration. You want to come and be British? Not come and take over, or come and have your own little insular community within our community, in which it's like a little mini version of the country you've just fled from and want to create an exact copy of. If you actually want to be British, welcome. But if you don't want to be British, fuck off. It really is that simple. So this is pure racism and this is pure idiocy. Right? I'm going with this. The controversial show Who Wants to Be an Immigrant has become wildly popular. Highlight civil rights spell from good to average. I don't fucking care. That's awesome. And if they break the law, we can just throw them in jail. So we get some fit people. We get fit people coming across the border and becoming citizens. But if they then start committing crimes, then we treat them like we would treat any other citizen that commits crimes. Let me guess, has crime gone up? Crime has gone up. Look at that. We're still letting people in the country and crime has gone up. It's funny how that works, isn't it? Employment's gone up. Intelligence has gone down for some reason. Patriotism has gone down. Taxation's gone down, though. Nudity's gone down. Tourism's gone down. That sucks. Compassion has gone down. Nice. Oh, that's hard. Social conservatism. Why does that keep going? Right. Controversial coup causes commotion. A coup in a neighbouring country has seen a mercenary force led by retired Howlite Island General Tanya Usman take charge of the peaceful backwater, purging the opposition and suppressing freedoms. Despite the new leader making dubious promise to hold elections, the government in exile is demanding the Howlite Isle take action. This is a disgrace, bellows Brigadier General Brenda Cohen, scattering plastic soldiers all over the floor. This traitor must be overthrown. Gather together our forces and sweep the tyrant from power. While we're at it, Howlite Isle could do with more tanks. You know, you never know when the next coup might be. Gwilyn Kapoor, that is a nice name. A junior officer puts down diplomacy for dummies and pipes up. The best method of solving problems is talking. Send the new regime a strongly worded letter of protest and encourage them to negotiate. How very British. On a similar note, perhaps you could take your spouse out for a meal tonight. You've been spending far too much time sorting out this nation's issues lately. Fuck off. Get out of my personal life. Also, how very British. Noted realist and tabloid columnist, fucking hell, Luna Reid disagrees. We should give this new regime a chance. After all, they now control a sizable economy and they need weapons. We could offer to recognise the new government if they agreed to buy arms for us. How very American. Also, I'm choking. I couldn't help but know there's some protesters outside your office. We wouldn't want a coup happening here. Everyone would feel safer if they moved on. I don't see what the problem is, a voice strangely like your own whispers in your ear. Your twin, standing far too close for comfort, continues. This has given me a great idea. Why not just declare yourself Supreme Leader of Howlite Isle? After all, the people love you so very much. It's interesting how my twin would like that. A mercenary force led by a retired Howlite Isle general, purging the opposition and suppress. So basically, an old retired general from our country has gone over to a smaller country with an armed force and is like purging any opposition and suppressing freedoms. Well, fuck you. This actually puts a really poor reputation on us. We can't have that. We're gonna take over. Fuck this. Like, we did another one recently. The government is pouring money into Operation Ending Democracy. Operation Enduring Democracy. It's like we did one before where it was a country at war with someone else, but we are somewhat responsible for this because it was one of our military people that did this. So under our kind of watch, this person gained a bunch of followers essentially within our systems, went to a different country and took over brutally. No, we can't have that. Lifespan went down, drug use went down, pacifism went down, food quality went up, taxation went up, government size went up, employment went up, defense forces went up. Middling, most of that seems to be okay. Okay. Voting for more money. It has long been traditional in Howlite Isle for members of parliament to set their own salary. This has, however, led to a recent vote in which members unanimously tripled their pay. What a surprise. Watchdog groups have spoken out against this. Oh, wouldn't the world be a happier place if we could all decide our wages, right? Shouts James Rickard, leader of World of Watchdog. Now that's my kind of MMO. An anti-corporation foundation who in their right minds would vote against getting more money with no strings attached. Who in their right minds would vote against getting more money with no strings attached? It's quite obviously cannot be allowed to continue, or where will it end? The money that money should be used to fund hospitals, not personal luxuries. Well enough is enough. Politicians' salaries should be set by public vote. Maybe then we can set something more reasonable. I kind of agree up until the public vote thing. Look, I don't like politicians. I think they're a bunch of shitheads. But if they're set by public vote, that means politicians get no money whatsoever. Because I'll tell you, if I had the option, I'd fuck them over just like they've fucked us over for God knows how many years. That being said, if they please their people, there's a decent chance that the people would vote to give them more money. So it would actually, in theory, promote politicians actually working for their people. I couldn't agree less, says Moana Ziam, a member of parliament. Sure, some people might think that having 8 cars and 3 secretaries is excessive, but I'm doing our country a valuable service. Probably one of the most important services there is, representing the people and deciding what course our country should take. It is an incredibly stressful job, and there is no way we could do it with lower pay. Members of parliament ought to be allowed to fuck off. Perhaps there's a way to compromise, says Tobias Fansworth, an amateur economist, philosopher, and... What the fuck is this? Wait, what's that? Pronounce it.
Lepidopterist.
What the fuck is a lepidopterist? A person who studies or collects butterflies or moths. Oh, that's cool. Okay. I like this person. The problem here is that politicians could either be paid too little or too much. Yeah, that's actually very true. What if we paid them just right by paying them according to how well they do their job? Keep a close monitor on the needs of their on constituencies and give bonuses for resolving problems and coming under budget. It gives them proper monetary incentive to do their jobs. Some will have a harder time than others, and the whole idea may be costly, but if it cracks down on corruption, I'm all for it. That actually sounds kind of awesome. I'm going for that. Tax is going to go up, but fuck it. I really like that idea. Members of Parliament operate under a pay scheme. Safety's gone up, government size has gone up, tourism has gone up, average income has gone up, employment's gone up, economic output has gone up, human development, section manufacturing, average disposable income, corruption has gone down, and lifespan has gone down by 0.01%. Weird. But okay. That is probably the single most reasonable answer I have ever seen in this fucking thing. That actually sounds brilliant, yeah. Because it fixes the problem of it fixes the problem of the public vote for that. I like that. Of course, this could still fall for corruption, but still. Radio rebels ruffle government. The Underground Element, a newly formed resistance force to the government party in Howlite Isle, has begun broadcasting anti-government messages over a network of public radio stations. These rebels are harmless, says author Mitchell, political commentator. In the interest of free speech and democracy, we should allow them to broadcast their messages. There's nothing wrong with a little criticism of government. Indeed, it could do with some more incentive to perform well. It'd be one thing if it was generally insightful criticism, says Ifel Sulu, your personal advisor, but this is a disgrace. It's simply fear-mongering and government bashing. We should shut down these punks before they fill our citizens' heads full of mistruths. And while we're at it, there are a few other radio stations we need to smarten up their attitude to the government too. Take control of the medium and take control of the message. That's exactly what so many countries are doing, and all it does is lead to further hatred of the government. Fuck you all. Now, let's be reasonable about this, muses Ken Cladwell, radio show chat show host. The government should think very carefully before it gets into the business of telling people what they can and can't say on air. Yes, the solution here is not to ban criticism, but to price radio station licenses at the appropriate level. That is higher than the rabble of unshaven hippies can afford. So only the rich can have free speech. Fuck off, I'm going with this. Anti-Government Hour is a popular program of many Howlite Islands radio stations. Howlite Isle was reclassified from democratic socialists to an inoffensive centrist democracy. We're back to that. Howlite Isle's political freedoms rose from very good to excellent. Whoa, this is a big one, man. Economic freedom, civil rights, weaponization, patriotism. See, I like that. Patriotism has gone up. Why? Because people have free speech. Food quality's gone up, crime has gone up, that's weird. Wealth gaps have gone up, economic output, lifespan, safety, obesity's gone up for some reason. Drug use, yeah, and I'm listening to Joe Rogan, because he thinks taking drugs will solve all problems. All you need to do, I like Joe Rogan, don't get me wrong, but according to him, all you need to do is weed and exercise, and that will fix all of your problems. Niceness has gone down, tourism has gone down, that's fucking weird, but okay. Authoritarianism has gone down, that's good. Corruption's gone down, that's another one we've had for a while. Yeah, I'm alright with that. Cool. Now, as I've said before, we're not reading this, but it's looking a little better. It is looking a little better. Welcome back to Howlite Isle. Right, today we have 4 issues. A polar bear's tail. A seat quite vacant is a seat distressed. Right way or the wrong way. Vote for none of the above. Alright, let's check out a polar bear's tail because it's about animals and I like animals. An anonymous caller recently asked the police to break up a party at Magpie City Beach, citing an ancient law that states goers unto the coast must be accompanied by the ursine beast of white fur. This antiquated salute, left over from long ago, after an influential courtier had trouble selling 24 imported polar bears, was never rescinded. A re-examination of the many frivolous and archaic laws that are hidden within the nation's legislative archives has found its way to you. This is a stupid law, complains Fred Hudson, who was interrogated by police during the incident. I was questioned for half an hour because I didn't have a polar bear. Where am I supposed to find a polar bear? I've done some reading up on these old laws. Did you know that in the district of West Howlite Isle City, it's illegal for ladies to go out on Saturdays with a non-matching watch or handbag? These laws are foolish and you should get rid of them. I agree. You can't be serious, exclaims Elisa Phillips, your secretary, who's wearing goggles because she's within 15 cubits of the fire hose. A law that applies only to the inside of Parliament. We can't go around erasing half these half-witted laws. That would be way too much administrative work. We should just issue guidelines to our police officers advising them to not use their discretion when using their discretion. Oh God. Excuse me, but you seem to be forgetting that these people broke the law. Reminds the goggleless chief of police whimsily. All right. This is what we're going with. It's the only acceptable answer. Older citizens lament over the loss of law and order. Average income has gone up, government size has gone up, employment has gone down, sector manufacturing has gone down, disposable income has gone down, taxation has gone up, economic output has gone up. That is so fucking weird, but okay. That one seems to exist solely to hike up the tax. A seat quite vacant is a seat distressed. Just yesterday, Farisa Howell, the elected representative of Upper Magpieville, tragically died while giving a speech at a hospital construction site when an entire wall collapsed on top of her. Unfortunately, various laws passed in different eras have conflicting instructions in the event of a politician's death, causing trepidation amongst the local voters. Ugh. Wind. The easiest solution would be for you to peacefully appoint an interim representative, someone to act on her stead, just until the next election, posts Buffy Peters, a devoted supporter of your party. It wouldn't be long, our elections are pretty regular, right? And it would save the hassle and cost of holding a special election. As it happens, I know just the right candidate. It seems to me that the person who is elected should have the right to pick their successor if they are unable to finish their term, declares Nobby Howell, the son of the deceased representative. Presumably, they would choose someone who was of like mind and could be counted on to continue supporting their predecessor's agenda. If the new person turns out to be a dud, they would surely be voted out in the next election. Just require all elected officials to write down their preferred replacement on some sort of notarized form, and the problem will be solved. Help! Help! I'm being repressed! Melodramatically screams Dennis De Castro, an independent candidate famously opposed to the formation of political parties. Strange corners sitting in the office distributing death certificates is no basis for a system of government. Just have a by-election, the same way other popular democratic countries. No one knows who's the next candidate the people might want, so we'll have to put it out to people to find out. Actually, I know exactly who the people want, states Severin Lane, the most recent opposition candidate for the seat. Me. I had the next most votes, and in the event of an elected official's ultimately passing, the runner-up should be given the job. Surely this is the best way to represent the will of the people, at least 37% of them. I mean, yeah, except this is just going to fucking promote assassination. Psh, sure, she's dead. That doesn't affect me, declares Ainsium Ruff, who lives in a nearby district. You always forget about the lower Magpie folks. Those toffs of the upper Magpie Villa get all the funding, and we get squat. They can do without an elected representative for a little while. That'll teach them. This, I kind of like this one. Yeah. Document forgery is a critical skill for would-be politicians. Howlite Isle's political freedom fell from excellent to very good. Okay, crime went up, tourism went up, corruption went up. I feel as if every single choice there would have led to something like that. Alright, next one. Right of way or wrong of way. An increasing number of landowners have been fencing off footpaths which run through their property, and as a result, you have been petitioned by Ramblers and Hikers Association to allow the right to roam. Mary Marquise, the famous hiker of Howlite Isle's countryside, storms into your office, arms waving dangerously. These pompous landowners are fencing off hundreds of years of tradition. The public should have a right of way by law. It is even the man's right to be able to enjoy the scenic beauty, every man's right to be able to enjoy the scenic beauty of this native land, and I don't see why some toffee-nosed prat should be the only person allowed to walk around his hundreds of acres of land when most of us don't even have one. It's simply unforgivable. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going for a walk, wherever I really well like. I mean, on paper, yeah. But this is just going to result in people walking wherever the fuck they want. You know what I mean? Even in places that is a bit... Like walking through crops, for example. Stomping through your carrots and shit like that. Like, no. It's trespass, plain and simple, says Sawyer Silver, wealthy owner of 6 mansions. My home is my castle. If these smelly ramblers think that they can abuse and defile my land, they should start thinking again. You've got to look at this reasonably. Where people go, pollution follows. But I know I'm going to have litter in my fields. That's true. It will happen. Drunken parties in the woods. Again, it's true. And more eroded footpaths than I can count. Again, yeah. Will they be the ones paying for to have it all maintained? Not likely. I say no to this right to roam rubbish. This is my land and I intend to keep it that way. There is an opportunity in every problem, says Ashwin Bettine, your Minister of Rural Area, and there's always some sort of compromise. You could simply allocate some government funding to teams of environmental works to maintain and promote our network of footpaths that anyone may use for a price. Think of the money we could get from all these hikers and ramblers, not to mention the tourists, bird watchers and hippies. Everyone wins, except those who can't afford the fees, but you can't please everyone. I don't like this, because it's ridiculous and it'd be walking through crop fields and things, and half of what this person says is true. On the other hand, this is snobby bullshit, so fuck you. This is what I'm going to go with. I would not like them charging for me to enter my local park in general, considering the fact that my local park is very important to me, but this is the best option, I think. That's what we're going to go for. All footpaths have toll booths. Economy's gone up, food quality's gone up, obesity's gone down. Interesting. Well, you'd think it'd go up because people wouldn't be paying for it. Weather's gone down for some reason because more people are outside. Environmental beauty's gone down for the same reason. Most of this is actually pretty good. Most of this is actually pretty good. Is any of these bad? No, like all of these are pretty decent. I've got no issues with any of these. That's good to go down, that's good to go down, that's good to go down, that's good to go down. Environmental beauty and weather going down I'm not happy with, but that's like, this is the best fucking outcome we've had in like most of these, so I'm good with that. And finally, a vote for none of the above. A loose correlation of political activists running the gaunt of political spectrum has started a petition of none of the above as an option on every ballot. So the voter can reject all candidates if they feel none of them represent the viable option. You know what? I wish we had that in real life because I'd choose it a lot. If none of the above win the election, a new election with all new candidates would have been held. This is going to cost so much money though. It's a simple matter really, says left-wing activist and former rock star Edgar Cooper. Sometimes when you're voting, all the options suck. Almost every time. Why then should people be forced to hold their nose and vote for the lesser of the two? Or even 3 or 4 evils? Adding none of the above to the bailout will ensure that the people have a choice at all times, even if that choice is to reject the choices they have been given. Adding none of the above to the ballot makes absolutely no sense. Contributes conservative politician pundit Catherine Kettling. Those who want to run for office have already put their names on the ballot, and none of those options, if none of those options suit the voter, that's just too bad. Instead, we ought to prevent this sort of problem and limit the number of options. Sure, fewer people can run, but that will eliminate. I'm going to go for it. It's going to be a case where, like, no elected officials ever happened, and it just recycles over and over again. And taxation's going to go up because we're doing it more over again. But still, fuck the other option. Elections have become a procedural nightmare due to voters persistently rejecting candidates. Howlite political Isle's freedoms rose from very good to excellent. Address 50 issues. Ideological radicality has gone up, patriotism has gone up, political freedom has gone up, pacifism, intelligence, government size, taxation, yeah, that's shot up by a decent amount. Average income, tourism has gone down, why? Crime has gone down. Right, well, we've gone through them all today. Let's actually see what Howlite Isle looks like this time around, because it's the end of the video. The community of Howlite Isle is a small, safe nation renowned for its ban on automobiles, PIF helmet sales, and the stringent health and safety legislation. That's new. The democratic population of 23 million Howlians have some civil rights, but not too many. Enjoy the freedom to spend their money however they like, to a point, and take part in free open elections, although not too often. The medium-sized government juggles the competing demands of, I guess that's the inoffensive centrist democracy stuff. Education, administration, and defence. The average income tax is 35.5%, but much higher for the wealthy. The Howlite Island economy is worth 1.10 trillion quarters a year. That has gone up. And is led by the retail industry with major contributions from tourism and gambling and basket weaving. Fucking gambling. Black market activity is notable. State-owned companies are common. Average income is 42,801 quarters and evenly distributed, with the richest citizens earning only 2.0 times as much as the poorest. All the citizens lament over the loss of law and order. Document forgery is a critical skill for would-be politicians. All footpaths have toll booths, and elections have become procedural nightmares due to voters persistently rejecting candidates. Crime is totally unknown thanks to the capable police force and progressive social policies in education and welfare. Howlite's national animal is the magpie, which soars majestically for the nation's famously clear skies. Howlite Isle is ranked 81,531st in the world and 232nd in the United Kingdom for the most equality, scoring 49.59 on the Marx's Eagles emancipation scale. God damn, go us. That's pretty good. Do we have any more options for settings? We don't have enough citizens for a capital city. We don't have enough citizens for a specific leader, or a national religion. So we can't select any of these just yet. But still, I'm pretty happy. Inoffensive centrist democracy. Sounds like me. But still in the top % of most primitive. But yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.